Welcome to the top 8. Make sure you check out the top 16 video if you accidentally skipped it by watching as much as you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing. It supports these videos greatly. It's why we keep on uploading them. And with that said, let's begin.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
And we go and popping off first with the Loki into Dryas, which will be negated by the Impermanent. It is a double negate the search, negate the effect to summon a monster from the extra deck. Very well done, and that looks like an end my turn play. Yes, it does. We have Ricochet, which could tribute our Dryas to take control of a monster and make it so it can't activate. Max C in the draw phase, cross out Designate to negate. Now, PrankKids love to special summon, so we do not want to be disrupted by that Max C. But if it weren't for the Rite of Air's Mirror on the normal summon of PrankKids, simply taking control of it would have ended their turn. Thank you, Rite of Air's Mirror with our token. Now we're going to be using the Fateful Adventure to be trying to search for our Griffin, which is going to be negated. So it looks like we're still going to disrupt it. I mean, yeah, we could just take control of the Prank Kid, and I think that ends our turn. Pretty much, right? And he knows it. He knows it. Come to me, fansies. We are going to grab the Draco back. And then what, do we spin back the fansies? It was gonna go back to you during the end phase, but maybe you didn't want that. All right, killing your own fansies. Lightning Storm, wiping out the back row. Draco back will re-equip onto our token. 1800 Cactus Bouncer, not big enough. As we go into a Dryas, which can now battle phase swing in, right? Am I wrong on that? Could this have done something? Dryas, swing in. Then you take 2,000 damage. Then you gain the damage that you took. You special summon a Sunvine. You then Dance Peon, main phase 2, special summon. It dies? Why does it die? This card could not be targeted by attacks, but it does not prevent your opponent from attack. Okay, yeah, it does die. I guess summoning something doesn't do much, right? That's not an actual play. Cannot be targeted for attacks, but does not. Yeah, it dies. Yeah, I guess that does not work out. Okay, we're in trouble. It dies from battle. Well, so much for that duel. Let's hop into game 2. Now, as we hop into game number 2, what you should know about the Dryas is the play to swing in with Dryas is only good if you have a Sowing in the graveyard or if you have another monster on the field so that you can link with that monster at least. But also, if they have a monster in defense, if the monster's in defense, you could swing into it so the Dryas does not die. Also, again, your other monster could be the one swinging in, so when you take the battle damage, you then heal and summon from the extra deck. But we did not have that available play. There were no misplays. As we say that, begin. Sowing is, if you don't have a Loki in the graveyard, maybe you don't Ash it. Okay. We have Monster Negate, plus steal a monster. Triple disruption. What is the best way to play through this? We have the Draco back. Maybe we want to spin back the Con potentially. Adding the Griffin to then equip the Draco back onto the token. If we take control of the token, doesn't the Draco back fall off? Because it can only be equipped to a monster you control. Now you could actually wait for the activation of spinning a card to then change sheet, take control, it falls off before it resolves and spins back nothing. Am I right or am I right? What the heck? You could target a non-effect monster, right? Yeah, huh? Okay. Goodbye to the Jasmine on the second attack. And now we're going to sheet the Griffin. Okay, Petal. So we didn't want Petal to be negated by the Griffin. Can we not target the token or something? I'm just wondering, like, what's up with that? Why did we leave Griffin up? Target a face-up monster your opponent controls. It could be the token. the token would lose the equip card. The equip card would fall off because you control. I think that's the misunderstanding here, is the ruling with the Draco back falling off immediately as you take control of their monster. I think that's what we didn't know. And we can't Lightning Storm because of the Con and our pedal. Tributing the Griffin to grab a pedal here. And a Loki for the full wham bam thank you ma'am combo. Pedal setting up with the Snowdrop. By activating the Snowdrop, you're locked into plant type monsters only, so you can't make the Borea into the Regulus play. Imperm negating the Dryas from searching for a Sowing. Do we play another Twin in the deck to special summon? If I were to quickly check the stats on the Twin, the Sunseed Twin is played at 88% at 1, so we wouldn't even have another one to special summon. We got Teardrop. Teardrop is here. Smash him for 28, plus quick effect to tribute an opponent's monster. Very well done. And we have the Secret Princess. Princess activatable from the hand or in the graveyard. And that is right. A lot of people do not play the Adventure Engine, so that could be an obscure ruling where the Draco back falls off when taking control of their monster. The Right of Erismir. Reread the sheet. Reread the sheet. Target one face-up monster your opponent controls. So I stopped reading there. Why would it have to be an effect monster? Also, you contribute a plant. Players cannot activate that face-up monster's effects. You're right, it has to be an effect monster. Holy crap, you're right, you're right, you are right. That's right, you're right. Okay. Teardrop tributes, and we're gonna get boosted off of that tribute. Pedal during the end phase, come forth and summon. Like somewhere in my brain, it had to be an effect monster, but reading the first line, I was like, it doesn't say effect monster, but it has to at least do something with its effects. It has no effects, thus you can't take control of it. Makes sense. Mudon, get searching. Very good. Con, come to me. Is there no way to give a token an effect, though? You can't give it an effect through a monster effect. When equipped onto it, maybe it would give it an effect. I don't think there's anything. Maybe there's only monsters give effects to a monster through being used as a synchro material, being used as an exceed material. But beyond that, how do you give a monster an effect? Maxi early Ash negates. Now we have full combo with our PrankKids. Now, let's dissect this field. Negate anything. Negate a spell and trap. And the Pandemonium, which is going to be activatable if we have a blue, red, and green. We do not have the red nor green, but the Bow Wow will add the red and green, is going to be summoning a double Raigeki, non-targeting destruction of all the monsters, Butler, and it can do it twice. Now, Call by the Grave is a good way to counter this, but we just talked about the spell and trap card negate, which could negate the Call by, and we could also negate with the Griffin. Let's go. You know what? Sometimes I like baiting with Max C first. You know, people are quick to just Call by the Grave the Max C, and then you could do the Bow Wow afterward, which is not that relevant because, of course, we'll negate. Negate with the carrot. We have nothing to stop the negates. And now we're going to have to deal with the triple, I should say, double Raigeki, triple disruption that is, Griffin, Raigeki. How do we play through that? And we got to do it under Max C. Unexpected die from the deck going into the Loki. We are now going to do our triple fusion summon using the red, blue, and green for our double Raigeki. What feels worse, losing to PrankKids or losing to Purrely based off of the art alone? How can you take this seriously? This is why PrankKids is not allowed to be a top tier deck at the same time as Purrely. Summon. And when do we wipe? Wipe number 1, Raigeki the fields. Well, Triple Tactics Talent is going to attempt to take control of the second Raigeki as the Griffin negates. Now, Unexpected Die is going to be attempt number 2 into Raigeki number 2. Yup. That is a wipe. We have a Rikka Glamour, which is going to be adding our Rikka Petal. And we're out of disruption. That's it. We played through everything. Double Raigeki, double negate, and we're still kind of cooking. This is what we were talking about. Monsters in defense. Because we're playing against Rikka, this was a mistake to not have our monsters in attack, right? Did not have a Sunvine Sowing to protect from battle destruction. Yeah. Write this down. And we got the Thrasher, which is going to be within the battle phase. Going to have that one attack over their monster. And now this is the YOLO Dance Peon. 3 cards off the top of the deck. Summon a plant. Among those 3, all 3 could be summoned, by the way, for some reason. Summon. Mood Dawn, grabbing the Con. And we didn't summon the Cactus because neither player can special summon, and we do not want that to happen. Setting up the sheet. Am I wrong in saying that this whole thing that's happening right now would not have happened if all our monsters were in attack position, or what? Holy I mean, we have to PrankKids summon in defense, though, to be fair. But to be fair, for anyone who's saying that and thinking they're smart, you're not, because it's an optional summon and you did not have to summon it. Kunsumi Glamour, Mood Dawn is going to be tributing the opponent's monster. And then, 13 cards left. Can we deck them out? Melius Reborn from the Grave. Where's our Veilers? No Veiler, what the hell? Into the Resurgent. Resurgent could spin back a monster the opponent controls, spinning back the carrot, ending the turn, and that's all we had. Ain't no way. Draco back, spin back the Resurgent. Faithful Adventure searching for the Griffin, which will be our Omni Negates. Come forth, Griffin. Now, on the activation of the sheet, tributing the token to take control of the Griffin can't negate because there'll be no token on the activation as you tribute. So that's not really an Omni Negate. We have Water, free special summon while we have the token. Rikka Sheet being used right now, tributing the Griffin to take control of the Dropsies. And we still have a Fusion summon play, thanks to Thunder Dragon Fusion, fusing with the graveyard, returning back in the deck to summon our full field Raigeki. Now, we are going to be using the PrankKids pranks to discard a card, summon a token, using the Water Enchantress to make a Masquerena. Do we have a Princess? We have nothing. We're open fields. Oh my Jesus. Just like that, getting Raigeki'd. Gigantic Sprite is actually gigantic at 3,200 attack, 9,700 damage, boosted thanks to the Masquerena into lethal. Very interesting match indeed. Thank you very much, Rikka and PrankKids. Happy to see more PrankKids within the top 4. I'm looking forward to it. Let's go. Summoning our Mirror Jade. But the Mirror Jade is going to be quickly Kaiju'd before it even gets to use its non-targeting monster banish. What's good about that, though, is even after all the Kaijus happen, we're going to be able to brand it in red, add the Ad Libitum, fuse with it, resummon the Mirror Jade, then non-target monster banish the untargetable Hugh Lee. So it looks like we are well and set. Pod E is the first thing we have to do. There's a Lava Golem, but I don't think we care. We should still be fine here. Hidden Armory, randomly mill the top card of the deck, grabbing the Fire Dance to activate. As soon as this resolves, we're going to be completely untargetable. Just like that. Ooh. Wow. I did not see that coming. But does it matter? It doesn't. We could still fuse with it on the fields by adding anything else in the graveyard. I thought it would maybe stop it. It does not. Double-edged sword and lock. This is 10,000 damage. Swing in, double 5k. Can we stop it? Of course we can. Branded in red. This is quite desperate from Mikanko. I can't believe we even tried to do this. And our field is not untargetable. So we're going to be able to very easily pop it up, draw, and resummon our Mirror Jade. But then we could get double Kaiju'd in main phase 2. And don't forget, non-target monster field wipe of destruction is about to happen, but if a Mikanko is equipped with a Mikanko card, it can't be destroyed. Draw 1, pop 2, can't be destroyed. We're going to Mirror Jade, Banish. Maxi it up. It is quite interesting that a Huggin and another card can both be destroyed at the same time, and Huggin can't protect the other, but the Mikanko equip card does protect your monster from card effect destruction, but a Machina gear frame on a Machina fortress, they both get destroyed because the Union works just like the Huggin, where it can't be sent to the graveyard to protect it from destruction as it's both being destroyed at the same time. But sure, Mikanko could just cheat. Water to spin back the Mirror Jade. Come to me Rivalry to equip onto an opponent's monster during the next turn to negate. Setting up the Branded Beast to pop cards on the field. That Chimera, normally it would be untargetable, but it is in fact targetable. There is no polymerization in the graveyard. Flipping up the Branded Beast, not usable unless you have a Bestial on the field to then tribute a dragon to pop a card in the field. Blazing Cartesia is attempting to fusion summon, and I think we're going to get negated here. Axe of Fools, negate. Hugh Lee completely untargetable, and so is the Mikanko water equip card. So what do? What is the play around this? Rebellion is going to be getting the Serenir in the graveyard, triggering its effect to get the Retribution in the graveyard to recycle the Branded Fusion. Is that our second Retribution? Double Retribution. Interesting. Now, fearing the non-target banishment of the Mirror Jade, as we added the Branded Fusion, which would give us that play, made us scoop it up. Now, on to game 2. Also back in my day, I was using Skullmeister in the damage step. I was allowed to, but then they changed it. Grabbing a Tragedy, Allure of Darkness, banish that Tragedy, searching for the Alubur. Come to me. And then we have Imperm for the Alubur. If you do not have a Cartesia to dodge the impermanence, you are susceptible, as we are, to the negates. Cartesia protects Alubur, it protects Lubellion, it protects Albion. It's incredible. We got Branded regained and nothing to banish. Wow. Cosmic Cyclone on that regained. As we now are preparing our rights, can we set up an untargetable field? As we search for the Ohime for the Hugh Lee. Hugh Lee getting discarded. Come forth and summon our Ohime. Now, Ohime could be negated from being able to reflect battle damage and quick effect, grab an equip card from the graveyard. Sent another Hugh Lee, not Mikanko Dance. Was this a mistake? That's interesting. Why do we need double Hugh Lee in the grave? Huh? He says I misclicked. All right, I knew something was fishy, and something was fishy there. Activating the Fire Dance. This is where we could chain Effect Veiler onto the Ohime just so we don't have battle damage reflected. Is it really even worth it? Not doing it. Completely untargetable. Reflect double 1800 damage to the face. Fire Dance could also reborn a fat monster from the graveyard if there was one, and it also negates it. The Rivalry is going to be able to negate a monster or take control of it. What's it going to be? If we use the Albaz discarding a card, we could Axe of Fool it so it does not get to fuse. Negate! Now, Albur and Albaz, are you really playing Anaconda? Ain't no way. Anaconda is here. How standard is the Conda? Let's check it out on the website real quick. Branded Despia, 47% are not playing it. Now, we are getting our Alubur out in here, grabbing our Branded in White. Branded in White is going to be responded to with an Axe of Fool. Axe of Fool equipped onto the Anaconda. Banishing for the graveyard to make the Borreload Furious Dragon. So did we Axe of Fool too early? Well, the problem is Branded Lost is going to make it so you cannot respond to the summon of our fusion monster. And within that window of being unrespondable to, we could pop the Ohime before it, well, I mean, we can't even target the Ohime. You have to target. So nothing was targetable until you gave us something to target. Yeah, I think early Ohime was actually a bad idea. Would he have done change his play? Could he have made an Albion? He did have a Light and an Albaz, but then he didn't have another Albaz to banish. I don't think he expected a Furious Dragon requiring there to be a target on the field. Now we got the Mercourier. Now we have Anaconda, which we had to negate. We could have negated. There was nothing was going to happen. Fusion Shokan. Morisaki says, I didn't know what he would do. Understandable. Vector does play branded a bit differently than everyone else, I would say. Please stop licking the back of my legs. Thank you. Ohime back to the hand during the end phase to use the effect to get searching. And we also have a Hidden Armory, which turns off our ability to search. We're going to be using Fire Dance to get destroyed by the Borreload. Borreload protecting itself from destruction with the effect of the branded opening. Grabbing the Mikanko water. We now can't normal summon, but that's okay. We're going to spin back the Mirror Jade back into the extra deck. It does not activate the field wipe during the end phase, but the Alibur does. I don't think we thought that was going to happen. Come forth. Negate. Now, we have Ohime adding the Ceremony. Ceremony going to be discarded so that it could send from the deck to the graveyard. Our Mikanko Dance. Mikanko Dance is going to be a reborning from the graveyard. Our Hugh Lee making our entire field untargetable. And just like that, reflect the battle damage for game. Very good. Very good. Let's get to it. The most blinding game mat I've ever seen. What the absolute hail. Vector losing game 2, choosing for Mikanko to go first. Very nice. Ceremony. Ceremonying our Ohime onto the fields. And we're still going to be special summoning under that Max C. Are you out of your damn mind? I guess we want to at least set up an untargetable Mikanko that very easily loses to Mirror Jade. Huh. We do have Rivalry to try to stop that Mirror Jade summon, or at least negate Mirror Jade itself. Lubellion send, get searching, checking for any Ash here. Any Ash? No Ash. Send a Mercourier. Banish the Mercourier, get searching. Now the Courier is going to be coming to us, our Albion Shrouded Dragon. We're going to tribute the Serenir for our Lubellion, using the effect of Serenir to send a branded card from the deck to the graveyard, which will be a Retribution to recycle a branded card in the grave. Now, Lubellion is going to be setting up a branded spell or trap face up into our back row. It could be a branded Lost. It could be a branded Beast, so we could have popped cards or made it so you could not respond to the summon of our fusion. Sending a branded in white from the deck to the graveyard so that we could then add it back with the Retribution. Get ready. Alubur for the branded Lost, which you stopped me from setting up with the Lubellion because we already have our limited to 1 branded fusion. Shokanning into Lubellion. Now, untargetable Hugh Lee, as we talked about earlier, is going to be very easily outed. Why Shadow Mist? Because Plasma negates an unaffected from activated effects Nor. So purely Nor gets countered by this. And if you don't summon it, they're then going to have to spin your field wildly, which that's the goal. Get them to activate their Nor, detach the materials, and that's why Vector's doing so well. The Shadow Mist. Goodbye to the Hugh Lee. Rivalry, adding back an equip card. But with over 8,000 damage on the field, turn 2, lethal damage. Finish him. Very good. I was watching the YCS, and the dude literally opened 6 cards for turn 1. And then asked the judge, what do I do? I think it was top cut or it was the later rounds. And what do players do when they open 6 cards? They shuffle their hand. They shuffle like crazy. So you can't just say put the 6th card on top of the deck. They put at the YCS, the judge said put all your cards face down. The opponent's gonna roll a die. And then he's going to randomly pick a card. You're going to reveal it to the opponent. And then you're not going to shuffle it in the deck. You're going to put it back on top of the deck. And then everything's fine.
And then a Dark
Well, correction, I thought he was going first. He was actually going second, so he could not just allure Darkness Druid. All right, let's go. Seriously, it's on camera. This is not written, it's not hearsay, it's on camera. Now making a Teardrop. Quick effect, tribute the opponent's monster during their turn. And do we have a princess? We do. So we have double disruption, just 2. What do? Now we're going to, because we activate a Thunder monster effect from the hand, we could then, with a Thunder on the field, send it to the graveyard for our Colossus, which will right away, Teardrop will tribute the Colossus as if it were never on the field. Now Dragon Matrix will be searching for another Dragon Matrix. Wait, no. It only triggered its effect to gain attack. We weren't actually activating to send it to the graveyard. Not yet. Correction, we have our double disruption. Banishing the Jasmine with the Magna Hut, activating to search for a dragon during the end phase, tributing for a Lubellion, which will boost up our attack again. Now we're going to use the effect to send the Colossus, and we're going to get a little boost off that. Now we're going to be using our Thunder Dragon Fusion to make a Titan, as we still have a monster negate. We got nothing. Nothing to negate with. We do need to have a Rikka on the field to use the Princess. Setting up the Beast, which will be our quick effect to pop a card in the field. Do we pop that right now? We're going to pop it maybe in the draw phase? Before it activates, right? Yes. So what could we do? I don't think anything. Do we have a Sowing in the graveyard? Sowing states that if a monster, a plant link monster would be destroyed, it's not a link monster, so it does get destroyed by the Titan. Pop it. Very well done. Now Dragon Matrix, similar to the Dark, but a bit better. And by a bit better, way better. It can be used in the damage step to pop a card non-targeting. Unexpected die into the Loki, drew a Swarm, banishing the Thunder Dragon Dark, just to get it out and ready to use with the Beast. Beast will pop a card in the fields. Okay. Should we have on the attack beasted it? Potentially. Using the effect of the Sowing to protect it. Now we're going to use the Titan. Titan, get poppin'. What could have been funny is we could have just Matrixed in the damage step, pop it. It would then probably not protect it, but you know, that would have been another way to deal with it. Holding onto the Beast play. Leaving up the Dryas, Sowing into, I mean, what is going on, mate? We do have a Beast to get poppin' and get sending with the Jura Swarm. Goodbye to the Twin and goodbye to the Loki. We're not done. We've only just begun. We got Dance Peon. So this was a bit of a mistake, even allowing the Sunvine Healer to be summoned. It should not have, this shouldn't be summoned. But I don't think it will have that much of an impact, right? Primula is being summoned though. And just like that, it is over. Despite the Dryas actually getting another body on the field, being protected by the Sowing, it was still not enough. Top 3 of the deck, no plants, but insect. Revealed an insect and it does not count. Now, what the heck is this? Waylay Davy looks like he's side decked. I think we should deck check him because what the hell are these cards? What are you doing, mate? Really? Shifter in your Rikka deck and a Retaliating Sea? Gia, look into this. When your opponent activates a spell card that includes the effect to special summon a monster, you can special summon this card and then any card sent to the graveyard is banished instead. I don't see why you would put this in against Thunder Dragon, so I think you just main decking it. All right, let's go. Yeah, space. Discard to search. We are going to not have, we would not have been activatable on the Lubellion. It does have to go to the graveyard, I believe, yeah. So Shifter does stop Lubellion, but because we have a monster in the graveyard, we can't even use our Shifter. And good thing that we didn't shift it early, otherwise we would have not been able to max C either. Roar summoning from the deck. We're going to keep on drawing. Lubellion is here to set up a back row branded spell or trap. Are you really going all the way under max C? We've got 5,000 damage on the field here. Magna activating for the end phase search if there's going to even be an end phase. Regain, returning a banish card back in the deck to get that draw one, drawing into a useless kaiju. Now we got Cross Sheep. Cross Sheep could reborn a level 4 or lower monster from the graveyard if you summon to where it's pointing to while it's pointing to a fusion. Serenir, Dark searching for the Hawk. Hawk reborn a monster, Chaos Space, draw a card. Are we really doing this? Are we really doing this? Hawk, reborn the Roar, send for Colossus, reborn a monster from the graveyard. Are we gonna draw into a relevant hand trap? What's going on? Reborn Ash. Ash going into Apollo USA to now negate a relevant hand trap that you may draw into. Druistorm Banish. We have 10,000 damage on the field. Sowing is protecting from the lethal damage, right? I can't math. Help, chat. Is this enough for game? Attack. That actually survived. Wow. He calculated lethal, but forgot to read the graveyard, and now he's passing to a 13-card hand as he draws for the turn. Ain't no way. Let's go. That's insanity. Well, I'm gonna max C also, and we will be negating it. Negate. We're also chaining our own max C, so our max C is not negated in case you want to be summoning a Bestial during my turn. How many cards do you have left in your deck? Are you sure you want to do that? We got 21 left, so we're fine. Oh, these dead retaliating Cs. What are you doing with these? Con is here. Now, we cannot search our deck, but we can still tribute over the Apollo USA. Was not able to negate the activated effect of Mudon. By the time you respond, your monster's gone. Mudon searches, but Colossus stops the search. So what are we doing? Con setting up our Glamour. And now we got Loki. Loki's the Dryas, no ad. Huh? Did we tribute the wrong monster? Should we have stopped the Colossus and not the Apollo USA? Damn. Huh. You can't attack in a Dryas, but you can attack over Mudon. And we now have a Kaiju. Kaiju is going to turn off the use of a Princess, which he does have in the graveyard to monster negate. Come forth into Lubellion, sending the Kaiju to the graveyard through the effect of the Druistorm being sent to the graveyard, as we're going to banish for the Baldrake. And we can pop a card in the field with the Beast. When do we sheet? When do we tribute a monster to take control of another? This may not be over. Beast will pop the monster we take control of, though, so there's no combination of what we could take. Huh? Does this end the battle phase? Why did we end? Why are we still not in the battle phase? Target a face-up monster, cannot activate. Okay. Colossus can be destroyed if they don't have a Thunder monster in the graveyard to banish to keep it on the field. So couldn't we have just won? Huh. 2,600? Yeah, but the Beast pops it. Right? Pop. And it could banish a Thunder from the graveyard instead, but we're a plant deck. Beast is only main phase? Really? It is? Oh my gosh, really? Not in TCG. All right. Rikka, Petal is here, triggering the regain to summon our Druistorm onto the field. Petal is sending a Princess from the deck to the graveyard. Now we got Jasmine. To battle we go, faking out a battle phase. Okay, trying to fake out the branded Beast, that is. Popping that unexpected die. Only if we control no monsters, then we could summon a monster from the deck. It just like that. Kid Art with the 2-0 victory, defeating Rikka. Did not max C in the standby phase, and that's what you get. Field the top three, come to me, nothing. Now we're maxing in response to that delicious summon, or you're actually going to be drawing nothing because we're going to chain a special summon to our effect that we're not going to even special summon from, And that's exactly what happened. So you draw one less card. The Lily is going to be ashed. Stopping it from adding a My Friend Purrely here, I'm actually in favor of this play. Because the My Friend Purrely giving the follow-up of the Exceed being dealt with, that's quite annoying. Get nice and plump. If we cannot chain link block the plump from equipping the Sleepy, then we're in trouble. Wait, there was no other spell or trap in the graveyard? Ain't no way that you did not go through with the summon of your Delicious, which you actually needed to summon another Purrely to randomly add a card, and if not, then go into the Princess Sprite, which at that point you're giving them 2 additional draws for the Max C. I don't know, but now you have no Nor. Damn. This is not good. Chaos Space, discard the Driver. And what's cool about the Plump could suck up the space before they draw with it, so that is something. We do have Sleepy with Plump for non-target monster banish. A very interesting use of Plump disruption here. Can we optimally use it? Taking control of the space so he does not draw a card, as we were talking about. When do we non-target monster banish the Plump? We could actually not use it on Borland because Borland will negate, so we got to do it before then. So we will be keeping an eye out on the best use for that. And if we wait too long, you're giving the opponent an opportunity to chain link block the Sleepy with a quick effect, which could be Tracer. So once Tracer's on the field and they just hold the effect, stopping you from the attached non-target banish, that's going to be a weird situation right now, but we're not playing around that. So now we gave up that quick effect block, and we're still thinking, when do we Plump banish? Is this an opportunity to banish? We stop the Pisty, and it doesn't summon, and then they're gonna what? Recharge your Pisty, do what? They can't do anything. They can not make a Hieratic Seal because we're locked into Dark Monsters only from the extra deck. Nah, we didn't do it. Didn't do it. I mean, like, now it's too late. I mean, why was this here? If you were not going to at least draw a card in the standby phase, I understand that you didn't do that because you were saving this disruption to banish the triple burst. That's not a thing now. Can't even, nope, it's cannot. Okay, Borreload Savage Dragon. Yeah, so think about that. Banishing that triple burst, and we actually, I think we would have won the duel. Yeah. It's such a unique, that is a 1 in 1,000 duel scenario. That's never going to come up again, ever again. So you even having knowledge of this play, it's useless. Which is shocking why they further hit tier limit as a Rise Heart's coming that already hurts tier limit. Max C in response to the Sleepy Memory. We're going to be chaining our Delicious. This looks just like the last duel that we watched. Interesting. Come forth, Purrely, but no Fenrir this time. Purrely, looking at the top 3, and we grab nothing. Lily, equipped from the graveyard, get Exceedin into our Plump. Exceed Encore does deal with the Rise Heart and Purrely, and I do expect that to be in everyone's side deck. Yeah, that's going to be side deck MCS. But then I'm going to be interested in the meta weekly of that week, where there's no side deck. So we have a meta weekly without side deck. Are they going to be main decking Exceed Encore for the Nor and the Arise Heart? Triple Safer. This is a normal summon. This is not good to have triple in the hand here. With 6 material, we are unaffected from activated effects. So how do we deal with the Nor? Well, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to look at the extra deck, and you know what? We're actually now affected. If there were Goddess, that would be the way. Food Sector launch is here. We got the Magna Hut being added with the effect of the Lubellion. Having to banish the Lubellion is not ideal, but we have another copy of Lubellion from the hand, which could summon from the hand. We're going to return back on the deck the Lubellion to randomly draw into our Leveneer, spinning back the Seyfert, summoning the Lubellion, which there's no way to see this coming. Activating, Imperm, negating. We have one more spin on the Nor. Spin from the graveyard or the fields. What's it going to be? We don't have 3 light or dark monsters in the graveyard to banish for our Leveneer, which would be non-target poppage to take out the My Friend Purrely and the Nor at the same time. Very good. He has Delicious, not a pretty. Reveal 3 for Purrely Happy and double Delicious. We got the Happy Memory. We got the Purrely Street here. Now, what can we do here to set up a big wham bam thank you ma'am play? Happiness, if it swings in, it's going to get destroyed by battle, which could still be a pretty decent play for just triggering your My Friend Purrely and the search at the same time. Spin back the Boot Sector launch. Come forth, Purrely. If this randomly grabs a Delicious, it's a GG. Nope. We got Sleepy to our hand, destroying on purpose, as I said, for a ton of pluses here. We're going to summon a Purrely. We're going to add up to 3 from the graveyard. We're going to search our deck for any Purrely quick play spell. Come to me, come any Purrely card that is. Any card. Look at that pluses. +3 from the grave, adding a Delicious. Ain't no way. So a lot of people don't think about this being a play, and it really is. It's just incredible play. We are going to be chaining the Pretty Memory. Was that a mistake? Did we want to end on a Pretty also? I have a suspicion that we accidentally activated Pretty. Potentially. I mean, we're setting up a Nor here anyway, but we could have got a 3rd Purrely out. Did we go through all 3 Purrelys already? I would think a Nor and a Beauty would have been good, which we could have ended on. We did not equip Sleepy onto our Plump before going into our Nor here. Interesting, holding on to a Sleepy. Why would we hold on to a Sleepy? We could have drawn 3. Draw 3. 3 draw. Draw 2. Come to me. 1, 2. Rescue Ace is not going to be tier 1 on release for Master Duel. It's missing the important cards that make it top tier. And that is the scoop. Just like that. That was too much to deal with. Cam taking a game 2. Get ready for 3. Making the Heavenly Spheres, which is the plan B when you get Max Seed or playing around a Nibiru. Think about this. This goes 2 ways. If you have something activatable in your hand that's a nothing, on their 5th summon, hit them with a hard delay. Just super bluff that, which they say is not legal in the TCG, but of course you could bluff if you're good enough. Write that down. Now, they will want to go into Heretic Seal if they're a good player because they don't want to play into Nibiru because they get massively dunked on by Nibiru. Otherwise, the same goes for the other player. If, as I just said, if there's a delay on your 5th summon, go in Heretic Seal. But then if people know to bluff it, which there aren't that many cards to bluff it, then it becomes different. Let's go. Imperm, negate. Purrely is going to be adding on summon. And the Heretic Seal is going to be spinning it back. Or at least I should say it is negated, so it's going to be summoning a monster from the deck, that is. The monster we want to summon from the deck is going to be a Bestial to use with the Branded Beast. It's going to be our Magna Hut, not getting a Druid Swarm for double Sendage because we want to get rid of that Purrely right then and there. My Friend Purrely revealing guaranteed Delicious to our hand. Now, with an open field and Delicious, you want to be thinking about X Purrely Happiness, not the Purrely Happiness. If you can get your Plump big enough, which I think I did the math, it requires double Delicious and an extra equip for 8,000 damage, which we of course don't have. 1,400 set up with the Leap and double Sleepy. That is draw 4 cards during the next turn. Magna Hut grabbing that Leveneer. It just like that. Side frame gear Gamma. We're going to have to chain the Purrely Leap to this, right? Yeah, Purrely Leap. The plump gets negated, but we're at least still going to draw 2 cards off of our Nor. Damn, that was a close one. Very interesting. And yes, make sure to chain plump to the leap, not the other way around. I've seen a lot of people activate plump, then chain leap. It makes no sense. Unaffected Nor, draw 2. Very well done. Gamma is here. No hand trap. No hand trap. Spinning before he makes a Chaos Ruler. Spinning again. We only have one more spin. Leveneer is here. Imperm negates. Oh my Jesus. If we had a Bestial, we could have used the Branded Beast to tribute the Leveneer to dodge the negate, but only if you control Bestial. Nor gets spinning after being negated. Oh my Jesus, just spin, spin, spin to win. Ain't no care. Let's go. Now the Nor, we have to either win this turn or the Nor goes away during the end phase. We could make a Zeus over it. Lily, come to me, my friend Purrely, just for discard fodder. Equipping a big and fat, delicious plump. Let's equip everything we have in love to our plump. With Pretty Memory, we could suck up the beast. Please tell me you got the X Purrely happiness, right? You don't. No one's got room for it. What the heck? Ban the Nor. Purrely from the deck, reveal the 3. We got Purrely happy. It just like that. That is enough for game. JC surrendering to the ultimate Nor. This is the top 4. Allure the darkness, banishing the tragedy. Come to me, Alubur. Alubur with no hand trap in sight, grabbing our branded fusion. With the fusion, we're going to send the Mercurier. When do you send Mercurier? When you have a Bestial to banish it, or if you're under max C. So you don't have to Lubellion into Mirror Jade, Albion into Mirror Jade. That's a double draw. You just go into the Rinbrum and you are fine. Then Rear going to be searching for nothing as the Veilord negates the search and the banish. Very good use of that. And we still want to be ready for the Rinbrum being able to use its effect to negate an extra deck monster, then spin a card back. Now the problem with that is we keep threatening the Rinbrum with non-extra deck monsters, the Fenrir. And now a Draco back and Griffin, so the Rinbrum is pretty damn useless right now, as it's now spun back into the extra deck. Because otherwise, you could use it while it's in the graveyard with the Albaz to reborn Albaz as a quick effect during the opponent's turn to fuse with their fields. So that play is out the window. Serenir against PrankKids is going to be absolutely useless. No light, no dark to banish, no big play. Brand opening is not a disruption. DD Crow, though. DD Crow versus them trying to add the 3rd attribute when they're trying to make their Butler play. That might randomly come into play and be very useful. Dooley Doo trying to add here. We could choose to DD Crow right now. You either DD Crow the Bow Wow or the Dooley Doo. Getting rid of the PrankKid Pranks, which would be is really good for the grind game. During the end phase, you draw a card by recycling cards back in the deck. Link Spider into Anaconda? Ain't no way. This was a play a freaking year ago. Change the Fenrir to Dark? I don't think that's what we are trying to do, but we are now going to use Pandemonium to fusion Shokan into Weather Washer. Weather Washer is here. Now we're going to fusion summon into the Butler. 9,400 damage with the Weather Washer. You could not activate any cards during this battle. 25. We have brand opening to stop the final attack. Ash negate. Oh, we have Bestial. We also have the Bestial. I think we really should have tried to attack with the Anaconda first. Wait. The Butler could just be used. If your opponent has a monster, quick effect tribute, wipe out the monster, then attack for game. Uh-oh. Block the attack. Ash stop in the opening. Mercor, you're activating to search for an Albaz. Tribute. Wipe the field. Serenir sent from the deck to the graveyard a Retribution, which is not going to stop the final attack. Retribution, add back. Branded Fusion. Anaconda. For game. Damn. That was an epic victory for PrankKids. I am loving it. Holy moly. Foolish barrel it up as we now tragedy searching for our Alibur. This is kind of similar to the first game, a bit different here, as we are going to be sending Albion searching for Cartesia. Cartesia going to take a bite out of that Maxi, given that +1 draw here. We have a Branded in red set up. It just like that. We are in a position where the Cartesia can only be activated during the main phase, so we're going to draw phase, negate the Cartesia. We could brand in red, grab from the graveyard, and we could go into Mirror Jade, or we could go into a Guardian Chimera. Also DD Crow again. Then Rear with no Veiler this time. I mean, this is ridiculous. Fenrir, Rite of Arrows, Mirror, PrankKid Engine. What the hell is going on? We're going to add the Tragedy, and it's time to go into the Guardian Chimera, which the situation is if you wipe out Fenrir and the token, because Fenrir is so balanced, they could just summon the other Fenrir from the hand. So is it a checkmate no matter what, or do we, what do we leave the token up? Just take out the Fateful Adventure and the Fenrir. I think that's the way, right? Pop you, pop you. Yes, leave the token. Now the Fenrir cannot be summoned. Blocked. Meow Moo to trigger the Lampseas, burn for 500, gain 1,000, come forth and summon. We're going to be doing, grabbing a Pandemonium to fuse only during the main phase, making a second do just to trigger the Fancy to send a card from the deck to the graveyard to add back with the do. Now you have DD Crow again. We DD Crowed on game 1. We changed our mind on game 2, choosing not to crow the PrankKid pranks. Interesting. Now we going into the Bow Wow. Triggering the Roxy's, banishing the Fenrir to randomly draw 1. We got Call by the Grave now. End phase pranks, recycling cards back, drawing into a Sprite. Grass looking green, 47 to 25 cards. DD Crow to stop the Bow Wow from adding the Dropsies. Oh my cheeses, he needed the Dropsies. He is targeting, wait. Well, okay, we are doing the right one. Okay, for some reason this made me think that he was targeting the Lampseas. No, he's chaining to the Lampseas and Dropsies being targeted, correctly banishing the Dropsies. Thus, he's missing nothing. I mean, he's got all 3 colors anyway. He could still perfectly fuse into that Butler. Now, Grass is getting green, milling a ton of cards from our deck to the graveyard. Serenir sending another card from the deck to the graveyard, Branded Lost, to add back with the Retribution. And now, with the Branded Lost, we're going to activate the Branded in white, banishing the Albion from the graveyard. And what are we now summoning? Whatever we summon, you cannot respond with your Pandemonium. This is a situation. Again, whatever Lubellion summons, you cannot chain with your Pandemonium. So if we could banish the Dropsies before they activate the Pandemonium, which they can't activate, you have to toggle on, you have to do it on the summon of your Mirror Jade. They are not summoning the Butler. They've missed their chance. Discarding the Shadow Mist, correctly putting the Lubellion on Chainlink 1, otherwise the Lost misses the timing of that protection. Return back, Furious Dragon. This only works with your toggle on. Toggle on, destroy a card you control, plus target the Pandemonium, and it cannot chain. This is it. Definitely in response to the summon as the Mist is activating in response to being sent to the graveyard. Opening, protecting our monster from being destroyed by card effect. And now we have Plasma. Couldn't Pandemonium at any point within that play. Lubellion is here. Equipping into the back row, Branded Regain. Tragedy recycling the Branded Fusion. Holy moly, Vector is clapping up this duel, returning the Tragedy, drawing one. And now we are Branded Fusing into a Rinbrum. How do we trigger the Rinbrum? I don't think it matters. We just got a ton of bodies on the fields. Not gonna even whip out the Plasma. With just this field is more than enough with over 13,000 damage on the field, outplaying the Pandemonium with the Branded Lost, with back-to-back protection from it being even chainable. Furious Dragon for the win. Now, we don't know that he did not know that Dropsies was not in the hand, so the Furious was better than Mirror Jade to directly take out the Pandemonium, but we know that he didn't know that we could have also Mirror Jade banished the Dropsies, but again, only would toggle on unless something else was triggering in response to its summon like the Mist. Fenrir is stuck to his hand, but no Red of Air's Mirror this time. We do have Nibiru though, so summon number 1, 2, 3, 4. And then summon number 5 is coming right now. So the situation is if we Nibiru before the Dooley-Doo activates to add cards from the graveyard, that would be ideal, right? It's not a quick effect. It is only activatable in the open game state here. And in response to the summon, we may want to just drop the Nibiru. No. And he's just going for another Dooley-Doo. Now, we didn't do it on the first one. We could do it on this one. No. Okay, we're really waiting for the full end fields. Sure. We're waiting. We are waiting. We're gonna do it to Bow Wow, yeah? Tribute Bow Wow. Just wait. End of main phase. Bow Wow, activatable during the opponent's turn. Just Nibiru it before it happens. It's like, hold up. I didn't know there was Sprite in this deck where you could have summoned a red and just stopped my Nibiru out of nowhere. Now, a better use of this Nibiru, instead of freaking out, would be on the resolution of blue searching. But this is still good. Tribute. Give him the token. All right. PrankKid pranks, recycle 3 during the end phase, back to the deck, draw 1. This was the safest use of Nibiru, but I think more optimal would be stopping the Dooley-Doo from adding. Albion sending the Retribution, drawing a card off of that send. Gold Sark, a great consistent way to banish your Mercurier or banish your Tragedy, grabbing our Fallen Albaz. Interesting, we're gonna fuse with the light token here. Albaz discarding Call by the Grave onto the Tragedy. Otherwise, it would not be activatable here. This is so interesting. The Tragedy will activate from being banished by the Baldrake. Not from being, well, it was, why did we Call by the Grave? It was not even going to be activating when sent to the graveyard by cost of the Albaz. The thing was, we would not be able to chain the Call by the Grave to a fusion summon happening. Okay. I guess it would have been okay to Call by the Grave early if you were fearing getting locked out by the Branded Lost. Making our Albion, and now the Tragedy is going to be activating. Make sure your fusion summons on Chainlink 1 or the Branded Lost is not going to work correctly here. Can't chain Ash, can't chain anything. Completely protected. And then by the time you can activate something, the Mercurier is going to be in effect protecting our monster from your play. Or not. We do need an Albaz monster here. We're going to be returning the Albion, or yes, it will, because the Albion will be that protection as we have over 10,000 damage plus a monster negate. Lethal damage. Finish him. PrankKids dropping to crazy branded Despia plays. Very well done to both of you. Thank you for bringing PrankKids to the tournament. That was some good stuff, some great nostalgia. Hopefully we see more of it in future tournaments. We only have, I think, 2 more meta weeklies until Rise Heart ruins everything. Purrely versus Ash. Ashing in response to my friend Purrely is good. ashing in response to, boom. Ashing in response to the plump attempting to attach could be good. I would probably, in the current format, I would be ashing the My Friend Purrely. Now in TCG, ashing in response to the Nor, the little Nor, not the big one, equipping a material, that could also be a really good use of the ash. We got the Streets, and we're going to be equipping the Delicious. Now, there's not enough spells. That's not enough. Equip one, equip the final one. Oh my gosh. Like, what the heck happened, mate? No Nor. Plump draw one. So this is interesting. We're going for the draw two, which did not work, but we could have instead used the Sleepy Memory to attach to Plump for non-target monster banish, which at any moment they could have chain link blocked it to stop it from happening, as we're doing right now. Chain link block it, you will not be drawing a second card, and Max C is negated for 2 turns now. Yeah, we really have nothing. This is just nothing on nothing. What's interesting is you blocked him from attaching, but he's just attaching it anyway. So the idea was correct, but it just wasn't correct. All right. Thunder Dragon for Thunder Dragon. Double Thunder Dragon to the hand. Now that we activate Thunder Dragon from the hand, we want to have a Thunder monster on the field to then make our Colossus. We're going to Tribute Set for the Hawk, sending the Plump to the graveyard, triggering the Street, and the My Friend Purrely. Now, before you celebrate early, this is almost a +4. I mean, you're adding 1, 2, 3, and then adding a 4th card off of this. Nope, whiffed it, and didn't even have a 3rd card in the graveyard to add. Colossus is here, which could have stopped adding from the deck, which he didn't add from the deck anyway. He only added from the graveyard and summoned. We're going to be using our Allure of Darkness, banishing the Roar, summoning a Thunder Dragon from the deck. And now we have Chaos Space, discarding a Dark, adding the Lubellion. Lubellion will be searching for a Bestial. Magna Hut is here, banishing from either player's graveyard a light or dark to summon itself onto the field, activating a search for a dragon during the end phase, then tributing for a Lubellion to set up a branded spell or trap, which could be a branded beast to pop a card in the field. Lubellion plus dark is making IP Masquerena. Now, with Thunder Dragon Dark adding the Thunder Dragon Fusion, we're swinging into the Purely Protected with the Delicious Memory. Then we're going to main phase 2 this into a Thunder Dragon Titan, which, why didn't we do this main phase 1? What were we playing around? Just missed out on some damage. Purely Leap, recycle up to 3 Purely monsters in the graveyard back into the deck. Just 2 will do. We have a ton of cards in the hand thanks to that My Friend Purely, recycling our graveyard back into the hand. But it looks like we're going for Zeus. Zeus is the way. Druid Swarm's going to deal with the Slacker Magician, but will it? Once per turn, and only once per turn, this card cannot be destroyed by battle, but the other effect is, I don't know why I emphasized that, because I thought it was the other effect. During either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated that targets this, you could detach a material, negate and destroy that card, but we're going to target it twice. Double target. Or we're just going to destroy it with the Titan. Oh my Jesus. We don't even need to do it. And what you're supposed to do, chain a card to the Thunder Dragon card to stop it from activating, but look where we are. We are in the damage step. It is not possible to chain any of these cards to block this from activating, from non-target popping the Slacker Magician. Damage step, pop it. Didn't even need the Druid Swarm, didn't even need the Branded Beast. And we still have it for main phase 2. Now, I know you want to be optimal with the Branded Beast and the Druid Swarm, sending only when you think that they are about to do something big, but if you wait, they have an Exceed. And when they have an Exceed and you deal with the Exceed, that's going to trigger the My Friend Purrely and the Street to completely recycle their graveyard and summon a body on the field. So there really just isn't a good time to use this besides maybe on the activation of the Purrely. But we are untargetable thanks to the Street. So we are just super screwed. So very good plays from Kid Art, but it just doesn't look like it even matters. You could at least Chain Link block the Sleepy. Masquerina is going to be in response to the activation of the effect of the Pretty Memory to suck up a card in the field to make a Goddess. Now, Goddess, non-target, negate the Lily from being able to Exceed with the graveyard. Very well done. Street activating. Now, the Goddess is unfortunately not negating the newly summoned Purrely, which is going to be a Lily. Oh, damn. That is a problem. I mean, even after all this disruption, it does not matter. Purrely is going to make a Nor. We have 2 material, 3 material, 4 and 5 from the graveyards, and we're going to draw a bunch of cards during the standby phase. Insanity. And we're sucking up the Colossus with the Pretty. It's just like, what? How? A failed Zeus play. We got Goddessed. We got Druid Swarmed. There was a Branded Beast. And they're still an unaffected from activated effects giant Nor. We're going to suck up the Beast and spin back the Goddess. And we're going to draw how many cards? Well, we'll just draw 1. Draw 1 during the standby phase. But we still have triple spin unaffected. How is this balanced? The Chaos Creator. That's interesting. If you had a Bestial and you targeted your Thunder Dragon to trigger its effect, the Nor could chain spin it, stopping a Bestial. You can't respond to the Chaos Creator attempting to being summoned. But we had no good Thunder Dragons to spin back. We're gonna spin back the Chaos Creator, spin back the Chaos Space. You do not get to use the Ignition effect, Spell Speed 1 of summoning a banished monster back in the field, as we just spin back every hope and dream you had left. Now, 9,000 life, but doesn't really matter. We still have an active spin on the Nor. Add the My Friend Purrely on an open field. It's still considered a bit win more to make the X Purrely happiness, but it does make me happy to see it. We're definitely not seeing it. We have a Monster Negate plus a spin, anything on the field or in the graveyard. We're actually going to turn that into a Zeus. Zeus, full field wipe, plus the Monster Negate, Imperm, dead. 6,300 damage. We need Purrely. Look at the top 3. Imperm, negate not just the Purrely, but the My Friend Purrely also. We kind of really played into that impermanence. And we're not ending the duel. Ain't no way. You're my happy discard driver? Like, what's going on here? We stalling? Game 1 goes to Cam. So we are passing up on the Chaos Angel Dream, making a Masquerina instead. Now, what does this mean? We cannot add from the deck to the hand except by drawing. We could Masquerina link up during the opponent's turn. We have Imperm negate. Let's go. We have a insanely good hand for Purrely. Shokan into the happiness. To battle, I can't believe we are in the battle phase here. We're going to be banishing the Thunder Dragon Roar, special summoning the Dark from the deck. Goodbye to the Elf. And, the thing is, we can't even add. So we are going to be able to Zeus. And what's crazy about this is the Masquerina could have activated at the end of the main phase 1, but by the time we enter main phase 2, we have player priority to go straight into that Zeus. And then we also have player priority to Zeus the field before the Masquerina can link off with it. If we toggle on. There we go. But there is impermanence. So the perfect play being disrupted by the perfect impermanence. We could still cook a bit within main phase 2. The best way to disrupt an opponent right here would be with the Pretty Memories. Pretty Memory will make it so we could suck up cards on the field. But the Lily can't add because of Colossus. I mean, Colossus is really just screwing everything up. Druid Storm being sent to the graveyard through the effect of the Masquerena activating to send the Lily before it could go into an Exceed. Very well done and well thought out from Kid Art. Let's hop into game 3. Turn 1, Fenrir, and is this a Purrely deck? What the heck is this? We chose Fenrir over the Gamma, and at least we could properly resolve our Max C. Banishing from the deck with the effect of the Lupine, triggering the Dark and the Hawk. Hawk is going to recycle our hand back in the deck. Bad hand? I don't think so. Let's return it all back. All 4. 4 for 4. Brand new hand. Now, the Solar is not summonable, but is discardable with the Space Grab in the Chaos Creator. Banish a Light and Dark to summon that Chaos Creator, but there's no Dark in the graveyard. So we are going to Thunder Dragon Fuse into the Colossus, and we may just end here. Colossus plus Imperm looks pretty good to me. Lost out on the opportunity to Fenrir before they could just simply swing over us. Can't add and negate. So the Fenrir will be stopped by the Impermanence, attempting to banish the Colossus, getting negated. Chaining Delicious Memory here. Sure, making Lupine indestructible. So we don't want the Lupine to activate to add back a Dark. Okay, keeping it on the field. Lily can't activate the search, but we could make a Plump. And with Plump, we could turn it into a Nor. And it's going to be even more plump if we equip the opponent's cards from the graveyard. It will actually be a 5 material Nor thanks to all of the spell and traps in the Thunder Dragon player's grave. Battle phase, Purrely Leap, Chain Link to it up, further equipping more cards from the graveyard for a 6 material Nor. Surely we are protecting our Fenrir. If we activate the spin, we're no longer protected. Begone Colossus. And the Lupine was not destroyable by battle, by the way. The Delicious was still protecting it, so we spun it for no reason. Dark add back with the effect of the Roar. We're going to Gold Sark, banish with the Dark. Activate, come to me, Hawk. Are we spinning this back? Begone Chaos Creator. Into ending the turn. What the? Cam opened up with 0 Purrely cards. But Max C be maxing. Lily, come to me, my friend Purrely. Give me a Purrely card. Reveal the 3. We got Sleepy, which we could equip onto our monster to draw more cards during the standby phase. This X Purrely Nor is going to be going away during the end phase, which I guess we just let it die. Would putting a Zeus over even be worth it? Chainlink blocking the Sleepy so it does not equip onto the Plump. Stopping a Nor summon. Wow. So we're not going to end on Disruption unless we Zeus. We turn the Plump into Zeus. Nor into Zeus with one material Zeus. No, we got Max C. It does not matter. We got Max C. You don't need to end on Disruption when you have Max C. You don't even have to draw your Purrely cards because you got Max C. Technically, we do have Fenrir. Max C. All right. Come forth and summon the Dark. Fenrir definitely does not want... okay. Oh, well, no, it does, because a banish of face down does not trigger, so that is actually a wonderful banish. It just like that, Thunder Dragon bends the knee to Purrely. Welcome to the grand finale, Branded Despia versus Purrely. While I do say Purrely has a Earl's son, how the heck did you get in the grand finale here? What the heck is this? I do say that Purrely has an advantage over Branded Despia. We did see Vector defeat Purrely on his way to the grand finale, so it is up in the air. Get ready, Hajime. A Purrely hand is as good as how many quick play spells they have in their hand, and they have a lot. And Branded Despia just did the worst thing I ever saw. What the heck was that? Through no fault of his own, setting an Albaz passing is definitely not good. Can we capitalize off of this, though? My friend Purrely, we do at least have a DD Crow to disrupt the Lily from going into a Purrely Exceed. Purrely, randomly, the Happy was so good to add there because we ain't getting anything from the graveyard. DD Crow, we can't use the Sleepy to go into an Exceed. This stops the hard once per turn, just like that. But because of that random add, I mean, like, wow, they just randomly, this worked out. Randomly Happy into the happiness. And let's get going. Equip onto the Happy. And then equip again onto the Happy. Did we not activate a Delicious this game? Did we Delicious make that face down monster indestructible by battle effect? No, we discarded Delicious. So we used Pretty to gain life points instead of Delicious to make the Albaz indestructible. And why that would be good is by making the Albaz indestructible, you swing into it a bunch of times, and then you could still grab a Pretty and then still suck it up in main phase 2, and then you just have 100 materials. Princess Sprite, detach, milling a card. If it's not a spell or trap, then you do not add it to the hand. Yeah. Pretty over Delicious, I think, was a definite mistake. Straight up, we should have a really super thick, fat Nor. The Druid Swarm is going to be banishing the Purrely from the graveyard. All right. And we are attaching our 4th material, meaning our Nor is going to have 5 materials here. This is draw 4 cards. Despite our turn 1, or I should say our turn 2 play not being ideal, how can you argue with, we chained that to us activating the draw again, so this does work. We're still going to draw, and draw. So that was draw 1, draw 2, draw 3, draw 4. No hand traps in sight that are usable. And we're spinning. Spin that Druid Swarm back. We have activatable Zeus. We are affected, our Nor, making an Almirage. Almirage is in your extra deck? Ain't no way. Banishing, I should say, spinning back the Mercurial before it gets banished by the Bestial, so it does not activate searching for a card like Cartesia, or even an Albaz. We're going to Purrely Street, get equipping during the end phase, giving ourselves a Delicious just to plump it up a bit. Now, with 4,700 damage on the field, can we output over 8,000? The Nor is gone during the end phase. And we could chain link block a Purrely Exceed, attempting to equip a card from the hand with our Bestial Sereneer. We also have to deal with the Bestial Sereneer trying to block our lethal play. Purrely, randomly top 3. We got that Pretty. Pretty can attempt to suck up the Almirage, but the Almirage can jump off the field, can it? I don't think you could try to protect your opponent. No. So the Almirage is stuck. We have enough for lethal damage, not summoning the Sereneer. Now we're summoning it. Purrely Leap is going to spin back my own card. So, I mean, this was a good thing to learn if we did not know. Do not Bestial target the Purrely player or do so with any other player trying to interact with their graveyard when a chainable Purrely Leap is going to completely disrupt that, stopping the summon of your Sereneer when we could have banished our own card. That did not cost them the game, though. The Nor was activatable. It still had the level 1 Purrely, so it would have spun it back, and we had Wham Bam Thank You Ma'am lethal. The Valiant searching for a Bestial. Droll and Lockbird really screwing us up as the Mercurial being sent to the grave for the Almirage banishable with the Bestial. We could have at least done something. Are we going to go into the Anaconda line? Is this Anaconda-able? Imperm also negating. Holy moly. Anaconda's gonna get gammaed. This is disgusting. Ain't no way. Like, Vector's like, this is fine. You have all these hand traps, but I'm still going to be making a pretty good play. You don't have anything else. Negate and destroy. Ain't no way. Negate. Wow. At least we have Nibiru, which is not good against Purrely. Even if you do get to Nibiru them, they pretty much say thank you because the My Friend Purrely and the Street will both activate, adding 3 cards on the graveyard back to the hand, special summoning a Purrely back in the field. They'll probably build a better field after the Nibiru. Now we could still think about chain link blocking, which we have a single chain link block to do. Just one block. And the chain link block play is when they activate a quick play from the hand while they have a Purrely Exceed on the fields. So very carefully think about it. Plump is going to be sucking up from both players' graveyards. Stealing the Brain Infusion is actually relevant as we like to play 2 Retributions to add back Brain Infusion back to the hand. Not even setting up a chain link blockable play. We do have draw 2 though. Plump draw 1. Leap draw 2. This is where if you're playing Book of Moon to stop a card like a Rise Heart, you chain Book of Moon to the leap. It does not exceed. Stops it right here, right now. It is targetable. The Street only protects it on the previous turn. No Book in sight. And generally, a lot of people are summoning X Purrely Noir on turn 1, so Book really isn't that good in Master Duel compared to Purrely, where it is in TCG. Because in TCG, the main way they're summoning the Noir is through the leap. Nor drawing that second card, no hand trap, 7 materials, so we have triple spin, now quadra spin, completely passing. Past his turn, back to you. We have a single Vector. This does look like a pseudo surrender. That's not something you would have done, right? Because surrendering is definitely illegal in my tournaments. I'm just gonna guess you totally forgot to activate Lubellion, that's fine. I'm not gonna fault you for that. And you forgot to summon Serenir, which you would have spun back anyway. All right, Purrely. Legal surrendering, great. Starting with top 16 Lemon, playing Purrely, maining Volcanic Shell. That is wild to be playing this over the Dark Worlds or more hand traps, but it worked out for Lemon. Going against the grain, I can appreciate that. Titacon with Pendulum. I wish I understood you and the deck. All right, very good. Good job, Titacon. And then we have Heartbreaker with... what's going to happen when Kashtira comes out? Like the Arise Heart stuff. Are you putting more Kashtira into your deck? Does your deck just become Kashtira only? Was that the goal all along, to just work towards pure Kashtira? Heartbreaker, say it ain't so. Thank you, Heartbreaker. Onslaught. We got Punk, Kashtira. Again, are you going to stick with the Punk? Or are you ditching it for Kashtira? Is everyone playing a Rise Heart when that comes out next week? It's going to be sad. Now, Got MVSka is playing Dragon Link. That is the main deck, and here is the extra. Very cool. Let's keep on going. And Christian the Paramount with Rikka. Rikka, 60 card Rikka. Wow. And the deck just won a YCS and TCG. So that's very interesting. Demendiz with some Purrely. Very good. More Rikka, 60 card Rikka, Para Faras. Very good. Nice. And here is the extra deck. And more Dragon Link. I mean, is Rikka Dragon Link going to survive when Kashtira comes? I was looking at a TCG YCS and Dragon Link was doing well. Despite liking their graveyard and everything would get banished, but they still collapsed. Okay. 41 card Rikka. This is something that I would be more likely want to be playing. Main deck and Retaliating Sea. Main deck and Dimension Shifter. More Rikka. This is insane. I don't know what happened. There's no way everyone just got inspired to play Rikka because of the YCS. Good job. And then Mikanko. Happy to see some Mikanko here. Very well done. We have the Crusadia Avermax sneaking in there. Good job. And Kid Art with Thunder Dragon. Does your build even change week after week? I'm wondering. You make some few touch-ups. We got 44 cards. Very well done. Thank you, Kid Art. And then, Madi. Here's a deck I'm going to be copying because I'm excited to play some PrankKids again. And comboing them up with a little bit of a Sprite package here. Very good. And moving on. Second place, Vector with 60 card branded. Oh my Jesus. Look at that D. Very well done. Here is the main deck list. And then here is the extra deck. And then first place, Purrely. Purrely is just too good. Good job, Cam Neal. We have Gamma, Droll, and Lockbird. No Ash. Wow. Because, you know, he doesn't care that much if you max C him. And that's a big benefit of Purrely. You max C them, at most you'll draw maybe 2 cards, but they're going to end on a Nor, and you're probably not going to out it anyway. Very nice. And then if you're looking at the article, you could filter through the decks that you want to look at through here. It is a cool new feature that's maybe not so new anymore. And here is the full deck type breakdown as Rikka outperformed Purrely out of freaking nowhere. Ain't no way. Let's go.